Here's another incident where Pastor John Amanchukwu took a moment to read out loud from this children's book at a Clark County school board meeting. Board members reacted with shock. Let's take a look.
Hello, Navarro. Suck any good lately. What's wrong, Navarro? I think you like a big in your mouth. Ha ha ha. Page 23. The other boy, page 23. It's in your library. Here it is. What's the educational benefit of talking about the What's the educational benefit of talking about that? Is that going to help someone on the SAT score? Hear me kind. Get a shot at that. She can care less. That's a sign. She needs to put down her sign. For a second. Oh, you're putting me out. For what? For asking you to abide by the rules. A board member held up a sign, but the audience couldn't hold up signs. This is tyranny, and we're dealing with a corrupt government system.
So what happened as a result, let's say, of that school board meeting where you showed up?
Well, that board is rather obstinate. You know, that's Las Vegas, Sin City. And so they kept the material in the library. But we're going back there, and we might bring suit to that board. What's taking place today is sinister. Parents are being bludgeoned and told that they can't speak up, and if they do, they might be labeled as domestic terrorists in the same manner that Merrick Garland called some parents in Loudoun County, Virginia. And so parents don't know what to do. And so I'm being inundated with emails and phone calls because I'm not afraid to stand in front of the tyrants and give them the what for and defend children. As a result of going to 13 states and addressing these issues, there are 3 takeaways that I have. Number 1, perverts are perverting the hearts and the minds of our children. Number 2, parents are unaware. And number 3, pastors have failed to do their job.
Wow, so true.
And
I asked you the question, I said, John, there are people watching that need to get involved with what's going on in their schools, especially if you have kids in public school, obviously, and other parts of the political arena. Christians need to come forward in a way that they never have before because they can make a difference. A lot of times you're called in because the parents are afraid they're going to be targeted and they actually call you and say, will you please come speak to our school board, right?
This is so true. They call me for that very reason. And
you can't even keep up with all that's taken, but you're actually training people right now to do this.
I am. I have a program called Cyclone 400 where I'm raising up 400 school board leaders around the country. If you want to know more about that, go to iknowgod.us and you can subscribe and receive my battle plan. I have a 100-page toolkit that will teach you how to spot when diversity, equity, and inclusion is being taught, when CRT is being taught, how to know when gender theory and queer theory has been brought into the curriculum. I'm even going to train people on how to run for school board positions.
What are some of the victories that have taken place as a result of your courage?
I've been able to remove dozens of pornographic books from around this country, from libraries. I've been able to strike down a transgender policy in New Jersey, policy 5756. I've been able to flip 2 school boards, one in New Jersey and one in Pennsylvania. And
you said that was one of the most difficult situations was in New Jersey, right?
It was. 90% of the crowd was against me. We even had transgender men at that school board meeting reading from books and talking themselves. And so I was called some terrible things there. Some people told me to go back to where you come from. And I know what that means. And I was also told, you know, that we don't like your kind and don't come back here and things of that nature. But I am a protector. You know, I say this all the time. If you want this kind of material in libraries, you're either a punk or a pervert. But there's another P, protector. And the church should be protectors. And I have to say this about men because many men have lost their voice in the culture. And they've been neutered by feminists. They won't use their voice because if a man is too aggressive and assertive, We say that he has toxic masculinity.
Or how many pastors won't speak to biblical truths? They're afraid
because
to address.
they don't want to lose their membership or their congregation.
Or they're secretly in sin themselves.
Or they might be on the down low themselves.
Yeah.
And so you just never know.
One of the other lies that you address in your book is that transgender people are under attack in this country. Why is that not true?
Well, when you consider the girl, Audrey Hale, who went into a Christian school and killed 6 Christians, 3 were children, they wouldn't even release her manifesto. And they would tell you that trans students are under attack. No, the Bible is under attack.
Yeah.
Reality and common sense is under attack. We have people who are telling us today that gender-affirming care works. And what they're doing is redefining terms and linguistics. The conversation used to be sex. What sex are you? You know, male or female. And the other conversation is what gender are you? Because gender brings about a spectrum. There are kids in Loudoun County in Virginia who identify as animals. And so they bring litter boxes to school to make them feel comfortable in their fairy tale world of being a cat. And that is because they have been hoodwinked. They have a hood over their head, and they need the light bringer. They need the Daystar. They need reality and truth to show them that take that hood off, throw away that litter box, and let's get back to the basics of education, and let's put the focus where it needs to be.